I'll tell you a tale, oh, a tale so tall that your butt will explode, of a man who shook the sky with his teeth, oh, a man called KnickaNack Dan. Now Dan, he ain't like you or me, he's the greatest hero in history. Ain't nothing he ain't seen nor done nor drank that KnickaNack Dan. Dan was raised in the Tennessee trees by a man and a bear and a pile of leaves, and he brushed his teeth with a Roxin pain and toothpaste. And he rode a dragon to the moon, ate the whole thing with his KnickaNack spoon. Then he jumped a canyon filled with snakes on a bicycle made of snakes. On a bicycle made of snakes? KnickaNack Dan. One day Dan woke up in his bed and found with a bang he was 20 feet tall. He said, oh my god, I'm really, really big. Then he stabbed his nuts with a pen. And he bled and he bled and he bled some more. And he bled and it hurt and he bled and bled and he bled all the way to the KnickaNack hospital. Dan lay in the bed and the doctor said, Dan, why'd you stab yourself with a pen? But Dan did wink in a KnickaNack way when he said, I really don't know. And he said, I really don't know. KnickaNack Dan. But the greatest threat that Dan ever faced, not commie reds from outer space, or Nazis that abducted Kiss, or any Kiss cover band. Worse than a fall from a 3-mile height without some beer to ease your flight, and landing smack dab on your crotch was facing Plug-It-Up Steve. Plug-It-Up Steve walked into the bar and said, Dan, now you've gone too far. You stole my wife. I'll end your life, you Plug-It-Up KnickaNack jerk. But KnickaNack Dan had a KnickaNack plan to stop that Plug-It-Up Steve in his hand. The angels cried and the earth ran away, and their flight went something like this. And their flight went something like this. Steve ran away and was heard to say, I'll be back, KnickaNack, Plug-It-Up one day. But Dan gave a wink and a jolly grin and brought a round of drinks for all. Some say Dan, he died that day. Others say he now runs the PTA. Some say Dan never was at all. But you and I know the truth. With a beer in hand and a rock and roll band, oh, Dan, he visited Pakistan. With Plug-A-Duck's wife, there is no strife. Hang 10 with KnickaNack Dan! KnickaNack, 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 KnickaNack Dan! Dan. Ding 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 Dan. Ding 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 bam. Ding 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 bam. Ding 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 wing. Bam. Ding 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 bam. I'ma throw it at you now. Bam. Fall down and bam 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 bam. KnickaNack Dan, but the greatest threat that Dan ever faced, not commie rats from outer space, or Nazis that abducted Kiss, or any Kiss cover band. Dan, ding 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 Dan, ding 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 bam, ding 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 bam, ding 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 wing, bam, ding 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 bam. I'ma throw it at you now. Bam, fall down and bam 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 bam.